Hey people, here's another rant for you, and this one's on gun violence. I think these mass shooters, especially these race based hate crime mass shooters, or these hate crime people, I don't think after they kill their victims, they should be put on death row. Now, hear me out. I know you're going to say, well, he killed all those people and blah, 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 blah. After he's put on death row, his part of living with what he did is over with. He never has to live with it again. I think what should be done with these people is that they're not put on death row, but they're put in solitary confinement. They're put into prison, put into protective, where they have for people who need protected from others in gangs or whatever else in prison. They should be put into that protective cell where they are not allowed to have anybody else around them because it's a danger to their own life. And I think on their TV, they should have to repeatedly, for 4 hours a day, watch and listen to what their crime did to people and to what other crimes like theirs did to people. I think they should have to listen to that for the rest of their life and never get out. That way they're confronted every day of their life with the suffering they caused others. They should get the bare minimum. They shouldn't have any control on what they can watch on TV. They shouldn't have any control over what they have for their laundry needs. They shouldn't have any control over how often they can take a shower. They shouldn't have any control over how often they can go outside and walk in a small dog kennel. They shouldn't get anything past what they need to live and breathe. Because they took the right to live and breathe away from others. And that's what I think. But that's me. Now, some of these families out there are hollering for the death penalty for some of these people who commit these crimes. You're not thinking. Sure, they might get a life sentence, be put in prison, be around a bunch of other prisoners, and never have to suffer anything and never think about what they did. And even in prison, when they're around others, they're going to be able to have their beliefs validated because they're going to hang out with others like themselves. But if you put them in prison, and excuse me, put one of them in prison in this cell, and on each side of them, they put a prisoner. If it's a white man who was white supremacist against black and Latinos, you put a black man on one side and a Latino man on the other side. So the only person that they can talk to through their cell is a black man and a Latino man. They can't talk to a white man. That's all. And they can't come out and mingle with a general population. I don't care if you got to put them in there and have it where the general population is, but then put a freaking dog run on the front of their cell so that they can come out only as far as close to the center of the place. I don't care how you have to do it. But keep them in solitary. Don't let them mingle with the general population. Don't let them mingle with other prisoners that are like-minded. Keep them away from that. Because that's how they got in their mess in the first place. They stayed online with people that shared their own ideations and that shared their own bigotry. So keep them in a situation where they don't get to communicate with other bigots like them. The only thing they get to communicate with is people of the race they inflicted the harm onto or themselves. Keep them so that they can't watch things like Fox News. That they can only watch what the prison deems is acceptable to them. I don't care how nice they get, how much they look like they've been changed in prison, rehabilitated in prison. I don't care. You don't even give that person a chance for schooling. You give that person a chance to eat, take a dump, and sleep. That's it. They don't get much else. Any reading material they receive is going to be approved by the prison. And in fact, I think every last bit of reading material they get should be lessons of what and who they were committing the crime against. They should have to watch movies on slavery and Latino struggles and all that other stuff. They shouldn't get away with just sitting down and watching some white supremacist or white bullcrap all their life. They should have to learn about the people they killed. Because their biggest problem is what they're doing in the schools now. Let's not teach black history. Because it makes it easier for these white supremacists to go out there and kill people. Because they don't have to connect to the people they're killing. South Dakota is doing it. Wyoming is doing it. Florida is doing it. And it is ridiculous. You are doing nothing but raising a society of white children who have no emotional connection to any other race in this nation. And you are fostering more of these people. You want to raise these people to hate other races and let them have a gun. So from now on, some white supremacist or some racist or homophobic person goes out there and starts killing people, they don't get the death penalty. They get natural life in solitary confinement. And that's the way it should be. Where everything that they touch, they read, they watch, they get knowledge from is approved by the race that they have afflicted the crime on. If they're a white supremacist, they've got to sit in that cell and watch History Channel and read history books on the struggle of Native Americans, African Americans, and Latino Americans, and Asian Americans. Maybe if they learned something, maybe they would feel the suffering they put on the people that were their victims.